Chapter 23. Now let's see this slime that you have seen. A short man with a vigilant face. Behind him was the party of Ellen, Caval, and Guido. This short man is no other than Blumen's Free Guild branch guildmaster Fuse. Fuse has received a word concerning a slime ending a disturbance of the forest. Now, all of the marching orcs evolve into laboring high orcs. The three behind him utterly had rotten faces. Great Jura Forest, a particular mystery is occurring there. Fuse thought. There are now merchandisers endangering their lives just to try this new economical pearl. A new kingdom with so much business potential. The Great Forest of Jura is a perilous zone. An unplucked wilderness with roaming monster activity in every part of the forest. But, surprisingly, there is a tranquil gathering of monsters in its center. Not just monster activity threats, but if a treacherous pearl is everyone's sights to grasp on, undoubtedly bandits and thieves will appear here and there to exploit the aspiring investors. Yet, as they arrived in the forest. Oh, hello there, this is a safe zone here, bring these goods with you. A group of ogres and hobgoblins approached Fuse and his party and gave them rations. Can he even call it ration? What the ogres have given are grand repasts that aren't circulating in the global market. They also gave them directions on what the next safe zone is. There are simple signs of direction. The road wasn't that paved, but there isn't monster activity and they are guarded by friendly ogres every few kilometers. A lot different from what Fuse is anticipating. To be honest, right now, Fuse is shouting, "What the hell is this?" internally, while the trio is unconcernedly chugging the food they have received without a hint of skepticism. This is really good. Rimuru Sans Goblin Village has gotten good in cooking these delicacies lately. I know, right? I wonder if they have found a new chief, cause this is really on the next level. Hey, leave that meat alone, the trio said to each other while eating manically. There are camps of ogres that house sightseers and they have incendiaries and stockpile essentials too. And, they also have these super friendly ogres that they can chat to at night. While Fuse on the corner is lamenting while complimenting this gathering of monsters. How thoughtful. The life and death scenarios they have prepared are nothing to be found. It seems the ogres and hobgoblins have dealt with the monsters surrounding the woods. Fuse again screamed internally, "What the hell is these?" Besides them, there is also this group led by an outlaw wanderer named Yume. They are also appreciating the accommodation of the monsters. At this rate, it would be easy to reach a concession with them. The ogres and monsters surrounding them are too accommodating and even offered them some liquors. But Fuse sternly refused. "Thank you, but," as he speak that, the female ogres started pouting. Meanie. However, both Gildo and Caval wrapped Fuse with their arms and shove a barrel of beer to Fuse. "Come on, Guildmaster, let's drink together. The night is still young." Yeah, if you act too modesty we'll make these beautiful personages down. These idiots. It's not like I am not enjoying their accommodation, it's just we have a long track tomorrow. We cannot let our guard down in the forest of Jura. Nonetheless, despite Fuse's lashing, the ogre's ladies looked at each other with wrinkled expressions. "Wait, why are you looking like that?" Fuse asked in a baffled passion. "Well, I don't know to you, but we have eradicated most of the monsters in the western side of the forest. So as of now, this is a safe route that humans could take. There is also an instance some monsters will migrate afterward, but this place will be maintained regularly from now on." Wait, do you mean that?" Fuse asked lashingly, but when all of the ogres simultaneously nodded, then it is confirmed. "So that concludes it. These ogres said they have dealt with it, so let's just drink already, Guildmaster." Caval and Guido simultaneously charge those words at Fuse carefreely. "But we'll still have to walk a long expedition." But once again, Fuse gets another stunning solution. "Oh, you're going to the city of Rimuru? Then you can just stand on those magic circles over there, then voila, you'll be in the city within a split second." The ogre pointed on the back of the campsite and there are clearly magic circles scratched in there. "Wait, now I can't believe this one. Teleportation circles. How convenient is that? That just surpassed the economical knowledge of this magical and technological utilization of both Dworgen and Sarian. Well, teehee, it's our queen's innovation. We were living in this vast forest, you see. Transportation and communication are a must for us. Spatial-based spells are being instructed in school institutions of our city. You see, our queen is multi-talented. She is an educator, a combatant, and she even helps the cooking sector. Though I must say with a fair share of Lady Shuna's wisdom." Ellen was the one who raised her concern after. "By queen you don't mean Shizu-san, right?" "Indeed, she is our queen, the one and only Shizu Izawa." "If she is your queen, then wouldn't she be Shizu Tempest, or sorts?" On paper, she is Shizue Tempest, but we'll usually call her Lady Shizue, so it doesn't really matter the last name. While Ellen is on confused expression, Fuse on the other hand, is on a brink of existential crisis. Fuse tried to disregard it but then fixed to question for his internal consensus. Shizue Izawa, as in the Conqueror of Flames. Yes, it is one of her many aliases. After receiving an as if nothing reply, Fuse decided to chug down the alcohol. I see, I must have lost my sanity. Fuse concluded internally in incredulity. He is now questioning if he went mad or what he is seeing is real. Shizue is an extraordinary champion even compared to other champions. What Fuse's problem is the potential. These ogres are already exceptional, even being the average brigade of their city, but then they'll be allied with the champion who reigns on top decades ago. Each one of these ogres is named, making this battle species even more terrifying. And they still have this clad leader, which is reportedly to be a slime whose power surpassed that of the champion. What is your relationship with our queen? The ogres asked in a passion, lunging themselves towards Ellen, who claimed to be a close pal of their queen. I'm glad you asked. Shizue-san and I are basically sisters. Ellen said without a hesitation, condoning a smug smile. She must have felt fulfilled that she had a friend that became such a big shot. So, with no rebuts from Fuse, they opted that it is better to chit-chat with these friendly creatures before going to the city of Rimuru instantaneously. They have felt that they cheated on traveling. The ogres bore in amusement with Ellen as proclaiming herself such a close confidant of Shizue. Okay, come here. Everyone who wanted to hear Shizue-san or maybe even Rimuru-san's stories, come here. Foo-foo, Ellen friskily exclaimed to draw the attention of the great ogres. She now enticed the admiration of all of them. While Fuse and the boys just sat near the campfire to heat themselves. Realizing these, some ogres offered thick layered futons and a comfortable cotton pillow. What generosity, they don't even feel like menace will hover on them. Some part of Ellen's story is a lie, or she deliberately made herself look badass. But it seems he caught the attention of the great ogres for real. Because hearing their king and queen adventures, even if it's a lie, is an amusement for them. The humans and monsters have danced, eaten, drink all night until their soberness drastically withers. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond. What the hell is this? Whoa, Fuse rose in a half-sober state. This will be our first human buddies yet. Fuse is totally out. Let me explain. After they caroused with the ogres last night till the last sobriety, they have dropped. Fuse and the others overslept, therefore the ogres decided to teleport them here where we can properly house them. But, can I even call it oversleeping? The first thing that comes out of his mouth when he woke up is, what the hell is this? Or he said gruffly. He bore an excessively red on his face, that's some exorbitant hangover. I guess they really had some fun with our soldiers. To think, humans and our Kurenai forces would be this accommodating with each other in their first meeting was exquisite. This is an appealing occurrence. Unlike Fuse, who was basically a stick in the mud, it seems that the others enjoyed partying with the ogre ladies. Somehow, I found myself a little bit envious. So, with a half-sober state, I signaled Goblina nurses around to take good care of them. We cannot do negotiations in the meantime, so we have to let their hangover pass. Now then, aside from forming alliances with them, we still have a roaming nuclear bomb in the town that I have been tasked to be responsible for. Here are Milam's daily activities. 1. Playtime. 2. Playtime. 3. Eat time. 4. Playtime. 5. Playtime. Just kidding, joking aside. Milam is pretty easy to manipulate. Just sing glories towards her and she'll be assisting pronto. Of course, with compensation of feeding her. Milam sometimes helped Gobta's team detect monsters in Jura, and sometimes she just casually roams in the city to interact. But then, one day. Here is the summary. Shizue and Milam had a disastrous meeting on the training grounds. Milam challenged Shizue, then Shizue-san instantly accepted. Shizue-san got obliterated and Milam lost her interest. That's basically it. I actually need to scamper to the location because Shizue-san bleeds excessively. Well, Shizue-san just used all of hers but then got trounced by Milam with one drub. It would hurt both her mental and physical morale. But we are talking about Demon Lord Milam here, it's self-explanatory that Shizue-san was defeated. So, Milam is using our military army as her toys to test out her strengths. And she absolutely likes the dinners we are having at night. After some time of the day passed, we have switch receptions with the humans who have docked in our city with a slight dim hangover. With all of our domestic affairs done, it is now time to negotiate with these guys who still have dim hangovers. We have Fuse and the representatives of the Freedom Association of Bloomond. Not even letting the conversation sink, Ellen dashes, running on Shizu-san's arms, and the two gave a friendly embrace. This must be a reunion for them. Last time Ellen had no Shizu-san to visit, but I guess now they'll come often. So again, agents of Blumen's Freedom Association. Guildmaster Fuse, Ellen, Gildo, and Caval still have hangovers. Then we have the other wandering party, led by Farmenas, or the future hero king of Farmena's kingdom. Mr. Rimuru, it seems there are a lot of new people we don't know here, Caval spoke out. Oh yeah, these are my friends, Shuna, Shion, Benimaru, Soe, and Hakuro. So, what do the Blumen and Farmas kingdom want with us? It would be pretty good if you aren't hostile. I indicated we don't want any of their fightings. I guess, then Fused expressed all of his vexations. Hostile, you gotta be kidding me. Someone who'll become adversarial is irrational. From the attendants that we have caroused with are already named great ogres. No one will dare to. Wait, I know that Fuse-kun, can you chill for a moment? I get it already. Then if you really weren't here for coercion, can we perhaps presume this is a potential coalition with your kingdom? That, I cannot answer for that. But you see here the news of Orc's domination and now halting it has reached our information department. And, we come here to check it out if this is really true. Well, as you can see there are a lot of evolved orcs working outside, just look at the window. We are now cooperating and building a wealthy kingdom. I can see that. Then for my final vexation is, why are there many dwarves within the premises of your kingdom? Don't tell me. Fufu, the kingdom of Tempest, and the armed nation of Dworgen have a full cooperation. Full, you mean this congregation of monsters has been acknowledged by Dworgen not just as a legitimate nation but a worthy one to form a full cooperation treaty? Fuse asked staggeringly. I and my executives looked at each other. I guess the one who can certify is a former minister there. Hey, Shuna, could you possibly call Vesta here? To my request, Shuna just bent graciously, and, instantaneously Shuna disappeared and returned with Vesta in tow. Quote. So you are doubtful whether Sir Rimuru and King Gazel have formed a collaborative treaty? I can attest that all of it was true. As you can see, Tempest started trading with Dworgen. Products and workers. Waited must be. Minister Vesta. Fuse started freaking out. However, Vesta sourly remarked. Former minister. Vesta concluded her report. Then if you'll excuse me. He said, teleporting back to his lab. Well, as you can see, Fuse-kun. All of it was true. So, does this news regarding the orc have spread? No, only a select few selected by the king knew all of this information. So, nothing has changed drastically. Then let's initiate our first comradeship here. Kun, do you want to form a contract with me? Let's hear it. His attitude was still brooding. At first, he seems to be the man who'll never listen to others. But I know the truth. Is like that because he needs to be constantly cautious. The destiny of his men lies on his chloric oversight. As a matter of fact, he's listening even with that brash attitude, perhaps because he had received lavish accommodation from our ogres that made concession a little bit more straightforward. Okay, I guess, do you want to be the champion that will get known in the whole world who beat the crap out of the orc lord? To my proposal, he strongly dissents without a tinge of indecisiveness. What the fuck are you talking about? But, I know something that wouldn't shun, and I announced it right into his face. It must be Chewy working for agencies who fetters you. I know. Why don't and the others be the first human agents of our kingdom full-time? We just wanted humans along with our curators. I guess, having humans from your kingdom appeases your reputation to other human nations. What's up with that deal? Are you sure about this? It only benefits us. Are you saying you are employing us because you desired some humans to act as champions? Not entirely. You sure are underestimating us. Believe it or not, our offer with full-time residence and everything you need is the right amount of settlement for Hakuro's brutal apprenticeship. If you think you won't work painfully, then brace yourselves now. Hakuro is a master who would not hold any punches even with his new students. I guess that's it. Are we calling this deal a go? We will provide you everything. In exchange, you'll be promoters of our kingdom. Just say the kingdom of Monster Tempest helped us in eradicating the orc lord, or like that. But then, I'll need to work my ass off to look like a champion with both charisma and soundness. Yeah, but you don't actually need to become the most powerful one out there. We just need to use that handsome face of yours as a non-aggression promotion. With just the right amount to save people, and enough charisma to captivate others is enough. Other than that, like battle-related stuff, you can leave it to us. Well, I think this is a more efficient way of declaring we are not a threat than the world knowing we are a new unknown force in Jura, so I just need you to act a bit. Then, Yum, who behaved stern until now, corrected his posture. Now he bowed down to us with his forehead reaching the table. Rimuru, no, Sir Rimuru, after spending time with those ogres I know that you are not some evil being. Actually, we are tasked by agents from Pharmus Kingdom to pretend that we were killed in Jura Forest and fled to another nation. But please allow us to work here. I would like to accept the opportunity you have given to us. We will change our ways and do your bidding. Yum bid on behalf of his men's future. Each of his men extended their hands above Yum's shoulder. Stand up, Yum, I am asking you, not dictating you. We aren't boss and a slave-like worker like what you are presenting in my front. You can treat us as someone who is working together for prosperity. Now then, Fuse and the others have nothing to say with these, right? Yes, I will also reach my ties for the opening of trades and possibly a treaty with the Bloomend Kingdom. Then, can you give us a pathway to this city? I mean, handcarts cannot go through undersized spatial conveyances. When it comes to efficiency, passages and roadways are still superior. I'll prepare the groundwork. As expected of Fuse-kun, you are sure reliable. Then, if you are asking us to build the highways, then could we get the full toll on the passageway? I mean, we really are desperate for funds to prosper our country and we'll build it ourselves anyway. I guess it's an impossible deal. I mean, we get 100% of the budget and Bloomend got 0 in return. But to my pointless worries, Fuse got a countermeasure. No, leave it to me. I guess there is a loophole where I can convince Bloomend to let Tempest get all the tolls in the meantime. But in the long run, it's impossible. For now, the aristocrats of Bloomend couldn't care less in the measly sum of finances of the collected tax from the toll passageway through Jura, since there are barely any customers. However, in the long run, when Jura flourishes, they'll try to negotiate with the toll capital and get something for themselves. Whoa, maybe Fuse really is reliable. You sure can handle and anticipate these kinds of stuff. You know, maybe you really are someone who is secretly amazing. What makes you think that? Well, Ellen and her gang oftentimes badmouth you in front of us, so. Fuse has glanced at every one of them. Ellen just whistled, making sure she wouldn't make a connection with Fuse's killing eyes. Well, joking aside, after we fix monster activity, we'll immediately assemble the passage through the west. Now we actually have a coherent agreement. Do any of your parties reject what has been tackled in this meeting? There is none. There is none. Fuse and Yum both gave their agreement. Then, Ellen and you men go back to Bloomend in a week to pass the paperwork we'll be doing. Fuse ruthlessly demanded. Wait a minute, Guildmaster. Why would we heed that? We just got in the center of the Jura Forest and now you're making us go back alone. This is exploitation. I'm gonna report this against the Human Rights Code. Too demanding. However, at Caval's wailing, Fuse shot a frightening glimmer more horrifying than any bogey. You piece of shit. How can you say that when word for word you are screwing all over ogre ladies just last night? What do you mean demanding? We were teleported instantly. Fuse let loose all of his boiling anger. The three seem to be shrinking due to the dread Fuse has imbued in their constitutions. I signaled Fuse to stop, and heeding my call he steps aside and lets me do the convincing job. I'm sorry about this. Don't worry, I'll let you guys use the spatial transport devices we'll be using to instantly transport you in the boundaries of Jura. By then, there are also great ogres stationed there, so Ellen and the others shouldn't be in danger anymore. I declared with a smile. However, things did not go expected. I thought Ellen and the others would just back off, but then a backlash happened. Caval and Gildo felt confident because I backed them up, thus they continued to rile Fuse. Mr. Rimuru, I really wish Guildmaster was like Mr. Rimuru. I know, like, Mr. Rimuru is really thoughtful, he even gave us these powerful gears free of charge. Unlike a certain someone who rips us off in demands and workload. Then finally, Ellen put the icing on the cake. Right, a certain someone really is too demanding. I guess getting old has a lot of effects. This certain someone must have no life and is getting bald by now. Oh boy, am I seeing real? I thought Fuse just released an aura that surpassed a demon lord's ambition right there. I guess it's just an imagination. And so, the first human camaraderies of Rimuru and his gang is Fuse along with his underlings. Then we have Yumhul join Tempest as a vassal champion. Later that day, all preparation came along, but in conclusion, Tempest gained their first human comrades. To be continued.